Hey guys, Joe with Miracle Card Care here, and today we are going to be cleaning up this first edition Shining Gyarados with our card spray and our pre-grading solution. So recently I've been having a lot of questions from you guys asking, hey Miracle, are we able to use the pre-grading solution on the whole card, or does it have to always just be the holo? And guys, that's an absolutely great question. So originally the pre-grading solution was designed for just all holographic surfaces, but recently I've been having a lot of customers reach out to me and say, hey Miracle, I've been using the solution on the whole card, the whole front and the whole back, and just having absolutely amazing results. So we've been going ahead and doing the same thing, and yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic. So let's take a close look up here at this Shining Gyarados. And we see, obviously there is a fair amount of scratches on the holo. And this actually, I felt, was like a perfect candidate because it's, the surface of the card, not just the holo. I mean, it's, pretty scratched up. And kind of like the same thing with the back here. So the edges and the corners are actually really nice, but then like you start looking at some of the surface and it's it's a little bit wonky. So I mean, I love trying to test out new things, and a lot of times you guys take it a step further, and that's what I absolutely love. So let's go ahead and get this going here. So first thing we're going to do is what I recommend is having a couple extra microfiber cloths. You're going to need the solution, applicator, and the card spray. So with the first cloth, what I'm going to do is just give it a nice wipe down with the card spray. Okay. So as like a friendly reminder, never spray like the card directly. Don't do that. Just do like 1 or 2 squirts onto your microfiber cloth. Okay. And then just kind of like clean off that surface. Nice and good. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on, guys. I'm just very light pressure, just working away at that surface and trying to remove like any type of stuck dirt, grime, things like that. Let's go ahead and hit this this bottom half here, and this will be a little bit longer of a video, guys, so I appreciate you guys being patient and going through the whole process. This is like a more in-depth instruction video, I'd say, to show how to clean like the whole card with the solution and not just the holo. So I'm sure you guys will find this is a real treat. Okay, let's get the back of the card going here. Yeah, guys, so let me know down in the comments below, what's your favorite type of Pokemon, favorite type of cards to collect. And if you guys want to see more of like any specific type of card, or even if it's a different genre, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, let me know, and I'll definitely do some more demonstration videos with those type of cards as well. Okay, so now we have this cloth, and we're going to set this aside for now because we're going to call this the card spray cloth, okay? So this is all done for now. We got it nice and wiped down with the card spray, and all we're going to do now is let this hang out for about 5-10 minutes, and let's see what we can do with the pre-grading solution using it on the whole card. All right, guys, so it's been about 15 minutes or so, and the card's all nice and dry now. Not that it was really wet, but probably just maybe a little bit damp from the card spray. You just want to make sure it's nice and 100% dry before moving on to the next step here. So for this step, it's really important, I'd say, to wear gloves, and you'll see why once we get a little bit further into the video. So we're just going to take some of our pre-grading solution, And I just go over those scratches one more time so you guys can see them. So that's what we're going after here, like this whole area. These scratches on the hollow. And let's see what we can do here. So we're just gonna take a little bit of the solution here. Probably about like that much or so. And then we're just gonna apply it to like the first half of the card, top half. And what I like to do is work it around in some small circular motions and make sure we get the edges real nice. And I wait to go to the edges until most of it's actually off into like the center of the card, so that way it's not like real globby and you're trying to like push it towards the edge and it might transfer over to the back. So I mean, very, very simple. Like you can see, like when I first started it, it was a lot on there. Now there's really not that much, and that's what I'm using to get close to that edge there. And this is actually good for like silver border EXs as well. And I know that you guys, a lot of questions are like, hey, are we able to clean the silver border EXs? And this is how I would do it, same way here. I would just do the whole card. And I think what we're going to do here, just from experience, I think we're going to give it 2 applications per side here. So I'd say that's that's good for the first application there. Now we're going to go ahead and wipe it off. And with the same thing, I like to put the microfiber cloth on the tip of my finger here. Now we're moving into that second cloth here. And this cloth here is going to be for the initial wipe down. And I'm just going to wipe it off with some small circular motions. Okay, after a few rotations like that, I'm just going to switch to a nice dry piece of the microfiber cloth. And it's important to keep on switching to a nice dry piece of the microfiber cloth, just so that we have a nice fresh piece to work with. Okay, so I'd say that's pretty good there. And then when you do another application, we recommend not waiting in between. Just do that second application, or even if it needs 3 applications, because we do recommend up to 3. Just do it consecutive right after another. Don't really give it any wait time in between. Just go ahead and hit it again. And again, you see how I'm starting to look more towards the middle of the card, and then after I get most of the solution off the applicator, that's when I'm going to start working a little bit more towards this edge here. Get all those edges nice and good. Okay. So same thing here, we're just gonna go ahead and wipe it off. And guys, this is super, super easy. I mean, there is a lot more advanced techniques, like trying to like remove dents and fingernail marks and stuff like that. I would say like things like that are a little bit more advanced, but I mean, this is super, super easy. You're basically just applying the solution and just wiping it off. And the most important thing is just to fully inspect it afterwards, just to make sure you got all the solution completely off of the card. And you will be 100% good to go, guys. All right, so now what we're going to use this last cloth for is to just go over it with a nice clean cloth just to make sure we have all the solution completely off the card. Very important, guys. Always make sure your card or your cloths are clean at all times, and be working with nice clean stuff. Now, I will say this is probably a little bit more advanced for sure than just cleaning the hollow, because you are cleaning the whole card just opposed to doing the hollow. So I would say this is a step up from cleaning just the hollow, but definitely not hard by any means. All right, now let's give it a good inspection. See how we did. So I say just with those two applications, we probably removed 95% of the scratches. Okay, so super happy with that. All right, now we're gonna try to tackle this bottom area here. See what we can do with this bottom half that's all wonky. Okay, just to be on the safe side, go over it again with a clean cloth, make sure we get it all off. So this is a bigger card, I'm sure, as you guys know, so just take your time. Take your time, make sure you get all the solution off the card. And just as a friendly reminder, guys, practice on some lower value cards before you just hop into like a big card like this. I mean, I've cleaned thousands and thousands of cards, so to me, it's like second nature. But if you guys are just getting this in the mail, I mean, just practice on some cheap base set hollows, you know, like a Polyrath base set or something like that. You're gonna get the same type of feel. It's gonna be the same technique for a cheap card as an expensive card. And then, you know, after a few cards, I mean, you should be a pro. Very, very easy. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and go for this bottom half here. And same thing. Now, guys, this is why I say it's very important to have some gloves on, because while this is still curing here, we're going to have to hold the card while we apply the solution and while we take it off. So this is why we say it's important to wear gloves, just because you don't want to like leave a fingerprint from the solution being still curing and leave like a fingerprint on the corner. This is why I personally like wearing gloves. I mean, another thing you could do too is put like another microfiber cloth here, like on the edge, and hold it down like that. But for me personally, it's just a little easier just to put a pair of gloves on. All right, now we're just gonna go back to the main cloth here that we used to remove the solution. Okay, and same type of thing. We're just gonna go ahead and wipe it off some nice small circular motions. And if you guys ever need any type of help or have any questions, you can reach to me on Instagram, right here on Facebook, right through the messages, or email, whatever is best for you. And we're here for you guys 1,000% of the time. Anytime you guys ever need us, we're here for you. I try to really, really pride our company in having like the best, absolute best customer service. So even if you need like a one-on-one video call, I'd be happy. 1,000% happy to do that for you guys as well. All right, so now we're just gonna switch over to that dry cloth here, the clean cloth, just for that final wipe down. And honestly, I mean, this card probably could have even used 3 applications per side, but I mean, just to make the video just a tad bit shorter, we're just gonna go for 2. And if you are gonna give it, you do decide you want to give it another application, and you don't do it right away, give it like 24 hours and make sure it's fully cured. The last thing you really want to do is wait like 15 minutes or so in between applications, because you really don't want the card to be like half cured and then disturb the curing process. So it's either, from what I like to say, is either do it right away, or if you are going to give it some wait time in between, make sure it's fully cured. So on the safe side, call it 24 hours. All right, so now that's nice and cleaned off. We're gonna go ahead and give that another application right away. All right, let's do our final wipe down here and see how we did. Yeah, guys, another common question I have too is, can we do this on like modern cards, or like cards with texture, alt art, stuff like that? Absolutely, 1000%. As long as your card has a protective layer on it, which 99% of cards do, like a polyurethane protective layer, then this can be used on any part of the card that has a protective layer. Now, there are a few cards that don't have a protective layer, like some newer sets. All vintage, all mid-era, all have protective layers, but there are some newer sets that's more like a powder coating, and you don't want to use any type of pre-graining solution on those type of cards. Okay, and if you're unsure, just practice on a cheaper card from that set, because if there's one card that doesn't, from that set, that doesn't have a protective layer, none of them do. Okay, so like, instead of going straight into the most expensive card from the set, just start on a cheaper holo or a cheaper card from the set, and if you're having good results with that, then go ahead and, you know, work your way up to that more expensive card. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and switch to that dry cloth here. Yeah, guys, and these cloths too, I mean, you can throw them right into the laundry with your clothes. You can wash them by hand with detergent. For me, I mean, I just throw them right in the laundry, wash them with detergent, throw them in the dryer, and they come out like brand new. So yeah, these cloths last pretty good. Now, we don't recommend washing the applicators. I'll show you what to do with them once we're all done with it. And I know that's another common question that we have, is like, can we wash the applicators? We don't recommend washing the applicators. Just wiping it 100% back into the container, and then placing back in the into the plastic baggie for good storage until your next use is what we recommend. So I'm sure, as you guys see, like, even though all the solution looks to be completely off the card, I'm just making sure, like, 1000% it's all off. I mean, that's the biggest part. I'm not rubbing really hard, just like the weight of my finger is all I'm using just to get it off. So just keep on switching to a nice dry piece of the cloth. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and with this nice dry cloth here, the clean cloth, let's say, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe where my fingers were touching it, just in case. Okay, now let's give it a nice inspection, see how we did. I mean, this looks 1,000 times better. I'd say maybe one more application just to finish it off, but I mean, compared to what it was when we first started. I mean, this was all crazy all in here. I mean, it looks way better. So, very, very happy with the way this one turned out. So now what we're going to do is let this solution cure. I'd say dry. It won't be 100% cure. I'd say for like 24 hours, but let's give it like 45 minutes to dry before we can turn it out, turn it over and start working on the back. So I'll be back here and we'll do the back of the card here in about 45 minutes. All right, guys, so it's been about 45 minutes. The card's nice and dry now. And I know it's just been a few seconds for you guys, but let's go ahead and tackle the back of this card now. So that's some of the stuff we're going to be going after here. Just trying to bring the back of this card back to life a little bit here. And we're going to basically do the same process as we did to the front to the back. Alright guys, so for the back of the card, we did the same exact thing. I fast forwarded the video just to try to shorten the length of the video a little bit and do a voiceover. So we did 2 applications per side, wiped it off nice and clean, switched over to the dry cloth, wiped it down, make sure all the solution is completely off the card. Alright guys, that's me full inspecting the top just to make sure I got all the solution completely off the card. And then I went ahead and tackled the bottom. Same exact process as the top. I went ahead and gave it 2 applications, made sure it was wiped thoroughly in between each application, and then went ahead and just made sure all the solution was completely off the card and fully inspected it afterwards to make sure I got it all off. And I think you guys are going to be very impressed on how this thing turned out. We ended up getting a lot of those light scratches off the back of this card and just brought the back of this card back to life again. Very much needed. There were just maybe a few deeper ones that didn't come out all the way, but what a big time improvement from where it was when we first started. I mean, the back of this card is 100% back to life again. But what really blew me away was how the front of this card came out. I mean, absolutely incredible. I'll throw up some before and afters at the end of this video, but guys, do you remember the way this card looked when we first started? I mean, there were scratches all over the hollow. There were scratches and smudges all over where the abilities were. I mean, where the abilities were alone. I mean, guys, check this out. Look at that. I mean, how amazing is that? There might be one scratch left where the abilities are, right above that word outrage. I mean, that's probably where the worst of it was. But guys, to get a card like this 95% improved, what a big time difference. These amazing big time turnarounds is what keeps me going, guys. And thank you guys for watching this video. And now let's just do a quick recap of what to do with the applicators once you're done and see some before and after pictures. And again, we don't recommend washing the applicators. Just wipe off the Axis solution thoroughly back into the container. And once you are done, just place the applicator back into the plastic baggie it comes with and save for your next use. Now let's check out those before and afters.
MiracleCardCare.com, because to us, it's more than just a hobby.